The tongue is like, first of all, a bit. In this disproportionate power to direct, it's like a bit in verse 3. The tongue has such disproportionate power to direct us. Jesus said we'll be judged by every idle word that we say. This is why James says in verse 1, not many of us should become teachers. As noble as this calling is, as noble as the desire is to be an overseer in the church, to be one who labors in the word and doctrine, the one who would teach others is in a position that requires knowledge. It requires, or it is a position of influence. It is a position that is public, and therefore, the one who would teach publicly, the one who would teach in the church of Jesus Christ, opens himself up to a greater divine scrutiny over all the things that he says. And because of these things, the one who teaches will be judged with greater strictness. The tongue, as small as it is, has great power to direct. And as Thomas Manton says, the more knowledge, the more stripes. Much like the discipline of children. If the child runs in the living room and spills red Kool-Aid all over the carpet. Some of you mothers are thinking, you've already lost me on the illustration. I would never give my children Kool-Aid or something with red dye in it anyway, but indulge me for the sake of the illustration. Runs into the living room, spills red Kool-Aid all over the carpet. The child is going to receive a stricter judgment, is he not? If the child has already been told, we don't eat and drink in the living room. The more knowledge, the more stripes. There are biblical standards that qualify or disqualify one from teaching. And so the one who would take this call must be soberly aware that his judgment will be of a stricter sort. This is why Spurgeon counseled young men who were entertaining the idea of a call into ministry, and he said to them, if you can do anything else, do it. Others have responded in the quite opposite way. Our own Southern Presbyterian Robert Louis Dabney says, if you have any of the requisite gifts for ministry, you ought to consider and pray whether or not God is calling you into ministry. James would simply have us here count the cost. Count the cost. The tongue has a great power to direct. The one who would become a teacher, therefore, not only directing his own life, but now directing the lives of others, he will be open to a stricter judgment. As we all stumble in many ways, James reminds us that the one whose position it is to speak has ample opportunity to stumble. I told the elders recently, I've spoken. It's a timely word. It involves wisdom to know when and how to say it.